Welcome to Money Making Minds YouTube channel. Today, we're going to talk about the single biggest enemy every trader faces. And I'll give you a hint. It's not the market. Nope. This battle is fought somewhere much, much closer to home.
This quote right here, it's everything. You see, for years, a trader named Daniel Carter was absolutely convinced that success was all about finding that perfect strategy, mastering the charts. But he was dead wrong. He eventually discovered his real opponent wasn't the Dow Jones or the Nasdaq at all. He realized the most critical fight, the one that really mattered, was happening right inside his own head. His journey from just a regular guy to a super disciplined trader is honestly such a powerful lesson in mastering the one thing you actually have control over, yourself. This piece of advice came from his mother, and it became the absolute bedrock of his entire trading philosophy. Now, at first glance, it just sounds like something you'd hear in a graduation speech, right? But in the high-stakes world of trading, it became his golden rule. Survival comes before everything else. So how did this all kick off? Well, it wasn't with some big, dramatic moment. It started in a really normal, totally relatable way, a long way from the chaos of Wall Street. So picture this, Columbus, Ohio. Daniel Carter's got a degree in chemistry and a totally stable job in logistics. He had the same commute every day, sat at the same desk, cashed the same paycheck. It was safe, it was predictable, but man, he wasn't growing. He just felt stuck. His father was a bank clerk for over 30 years. He wasn't some rich tycoon, but he was incredibly disciplined. And he taught Daniel what might be the most underrated skill in all of finance. Just simple, boring consistency. That one skill would end up being his lifeline. He didn't get into the market because of some YouTube video or a hot tip. Back in 2013, he stumbled upon his father's old notebook, and inside were these handwritten notes on huge blue-chip stocks. No fancy analysis, just patient, long-term investing. That old notebook, that was the spark. So he started out as a long-term investor, just like his dad. But it didn't take long for him to notice the daily swings in price, and this one little question changed everything for him. It's a pretty seductive thought, isn't it? It's the question that pulls so many of us out of the slow lane of investing and right into the fast lane of trading. And this is where the story takes a really interesting turn. Because what happened next is something a lot of new traders go through, and it's probably the most dangerous phase of them all, winning and winning way too soon. In his very first week of trading, he made $7,000 in 2 days. I mean, that kind of instant win is just a massive dopamine hit. It completely rewired his brain and how he saw the market. And that's where the big mistake happened. He didn't think, wow, I really got lucky. No, he thought, I've figured it out. I've cracked the code. He started doing the mental math. If I can make this in 2 days, imagine what I can make in a year. He mistook a total fluke for a real formula. And this slide just perfectly illustrates the psychological trap he walked right into. His profits? Oh, they felt real. They felt earned. That was skill. But his losses? Nah, those were just temporary. Just a bit of bad luck that would turn around any second. That kind of thinking, it's a recipe for disaster. So with a mindset like that, where every win is because you're a genius and every loss is just a fluke, a crash isn't just possible, it's pretty much inevitable. He stopped respecting risk, and the market was about to teach him a really brutal lesson. So when his trades started going against him, his ego just couldn't handle it. He started breaking his own rules, he'd move his stop losses down, totally convinced the price would bounce back. He kept telling himself that famous, dangerous lie, oh, it'll come back. So after 4 straight losing days of just throwing his rules out the window, he woke up on the 5th day, opened his account, and just froze. 2 full months of hard-earned gains had been completely, totally wiped out. The market had come to collect. But that devastating loss, it turned out to be the most important moment of his entire career. It was the rock bottom that forced him to stop, to actually think, and to finally start asking the right questions. He didn't sleep at all that night. This one question was just echoing in his mind, over and over. He had the charts, he had the indicators, he even had a strategy. So why on earth was he still failing? And that's when it hit him, the epiphany. The problem wasn't his strategy, it was his execution. It was his emotions, his impatience, his ego. He wasn't trading the market, he was in a fight with himself. So he created a challenge, a 20-day test. But this wasn't a test of his strategy. It was a test of his character. He set 3 simple, non-negotiable rules. Rule 1, follow the plan. No exceptions. Rule 2, no emotional decisions. Respect the stop loss. And number 3, and this one is huge, forget about making money and focus only on managing risk.
So what happened after those 20 days? Well, he didn't hit some massive jackpot, but his account was green, and way more importantly, his mind was stable. The anxiety was gone. For the first time ever, discipline brought a sense of calm to his trading. This breakthrough led him to discover the ultimate lesson, the one thing that truly separates the successful traders from everybody else. And it's not some secret indicator, it's a complete internal shift. Today, his trading capital is sitting around $9.5 million. But honestly, that number isn't the real story. The story is how it was built. Not overnight, not with some crazy aggressive bets, but patiently and deliberately, with a relentless focus on survival. He learned that successful trading isn't about the adrenaline rush of a big win. It's about responsibility. It's about consistency. It's about the simple but profound goal of making sure you are still in the game tomorrow. And that really brings us to the final takeaway, the absolute core lesson of his entire journey. The greatest edge you will ever have isn't found on a chart. It's found when you win that battle inside yourself. He stopped trying to beat the market and finally learned how to stop beating himself. If you want more of this kind of videos, hit that subscribe button now. Thank you.